sit up into your seats and really lean into the screen and listen to my friend and my mentor, Mr. Kevin Latmore.
Awesome. Can you hear me okay, Marshonda?
You sound great, sir.
All right. And are you seeing the right screen? Full?
Yep, everything looks great. We just want to record.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Well, welcome everybody. Marshonda kind of hit a lot of the accolades and whatnot. And it's just important that you know that, sorry about that, that I kind of been here, done that before, right? And I've been very, very blessed and fortunate in my career to primarily find the really, really good companies. Had one or two little hiccups, but did very well in those companies. And it was still just a short-changing situation from the company itself, not from myself or the team. But about a year ago, just, early this year, late last year, kind of went into retirement, had a few things going on that were kind of what we like to call passive income. That's income without labor. Been very fortunate to bump into some incredible investments that were yielding me incredible returns, and just really was trying to sit back a little bit and work on more traditional businesses. Fast forward to about 5-6 weeks ago, someone introduced me to these debt nodes, X nodes, and IX Global. Seemed pretty cool. What I did is I put a few dollars in, maybe $7, $8, $9, $10,000 to see what it would do. It's supposed to yield me some results. And lo and behold, within 3-4 days, I had seen enough. I saw how it went exactly as it was told to me, and I was astonished by the results. So I shared it with 3 or 4 friends. They loved it as well. Just from the passive side, we weren't building, we weren't getting on Zooms. We're just letting it do what it does. And man, was it doing it and doing it and doing it well. So we talked to a few more people. Then it just so happened that the company was having an event out in Barcelona. So I said, you know what? Let me go out there. I want to go meet the people and just really see this from the inside out. And I'll tell you something really cool that we'll touch on in the presentation. One other thing that really helped me is I happen to know 3 of the principals involved. I know the CEO, I know the president, I know the master distributor, each independent of each other and always had good experiences. And that ranges from about 10 years to 15-year relationships with any of the 3. So that really, really bodes well for, in this day and age with so many rug pulls, as we call them, and just fly-by-night companies, it was really good to partner or look at something that was done by some professionals. So without any further ado, I want to give you guys a glimpse into what I saw. And what I like about this, and it was really interesting when Marshonda said to lean in, that's exactly what you need to do. And even if you're sitting back with your arms crossed and your grumpiest of grumpy faces on, let's see if we can turn that frown upside down, because I've seen it happen to many, many people. By the way, we went over 1,000 reps last night, which is amazing for 6 weeks. I think I've introduced about 17 or 18, and in 6 weeks it's turned into 1,000. I don't take the credit for that, although typically I do build very, very quickly. I've actually been somewhat laid back with this because, helping everyone get oriented and stuff like that, especially spending 7-8 days out in Barcelona. I finally got COVID, got my turn. So that took a week. Then my family got it for a week, and then my car got stolen. So I've been dealing with that for the last week. So I haven't even been in outside of 2nd or 3rd gear with this thing, and it's absolutely exploding across the world. But when I say the whole little joke about leaning in, the thing that I like about this more than anything almost is the fact that it hits people's ears different. I don't have to twist people's arm. I don't need clever sales pitches and tactics. They hear it differently. And for the very, very few that don't, we just, reiterate a few little points of contention that they may or may not have, and then boom, they also open their eyes wide to this very, very different, dare I say, category creator. So without any further ado, let's get popping. So we like to say where crypto meets commodities, right? We're going to be, and you haven't heard that before because it's never happened before, nor is anything even similar to it has ever happened. And that's kind of the beauty of the whole thing. One thing I like to do right here, let me give them a little fancy pointer. Help people kind of focus. All right. Okay, so right here we have Joe Martinez. He's the CEO and founder of the company. I've known Joe for about 15 years, about 37 years old, but very, very mature beyond his age. He also did, I think, 3 different tours in Afghanistan and maybe Iraq or somewhere like that. So that military life will mature you in a hurry. I've known Paul Barlow as a friend and as a business partner for also about 15 years. He's the president of the company, something that really gives me a good feeling about everything that's going on. I didn't know Ozzy before, but I know him now. He's been helping our team tremendously. He's the CCO, it says here. He's been promoted to CMO, and I talk to Ozzy no less than 5, 6, 7 times a day. Anybody on the call that's interacted with Ozzy, put it in the chat, just write Ozzy, right? Let people know that he's out there helping us make a difference. And the last person I know is not listed here. That is Mr. Brian Robert. He is the master distributor of this company, a gentleman that's made, in excess of $10 million in his career. Him and his wife were just the salt of the earth, very laid back, much like myself. Even though we've had tremendous success, we're very, very humble. I don't know if you can say that you're humble and you're bragging about it in front of a bunch of people, but you guys know what I'm trying to talk about. I'm pretty laid back and don't take myself too seriously. The results are deadly serious that I produce. But, at the end of the day, we're all the same. Some of us just have a little bit more experience than others. I believe disclaimers are very important. I don't want to start off on the wrong foot. I'm not going to give you pie in the sky. You guys should trust but verify. Lots of good stuff. I'm going to share a lot of big numbers. So, let's just take a picture of this if you want, read through it. It's a little wordy. I want to get this going. I know we started a few minutes late. I will touch on some of the highlights here, but none of this information provided is intended as investment, tax, accounting, or legal advice, as an offer or solicitation of an offer to buy or sell, or as an endorsement of any company, security, fund, or other offering, right? And I also want to I'd be remiss if I didn't say past performance does not guarantee any income in particular result from your use of the information contained herein. We've done incredibly, incredibly well in our first 2.5 years of business, but I don't want you to think that it's just a lock. I don't want you borrowing money to get in. I don't want you doing anything crazy based on this presentation. But again, you'll see with your own eyes how truly astonishing some of these results are. So without any further ado, I'm going to use a little bit, and by the way, let me preface this all by saying, please don't be overwhelmed. Please don't be overwhelmed. I don't know how a microwave makes my food hot, but I press a couple buttons and then I have a good time, right? So I'm going to use a few words, a few things that might be a little bit foreign to you, but rest assured, we have all kinds of people, all ages across the spectrum, from 18 to 80 on the team already. And I believe that's just going to continue to go down that pattern. And yes, we have some crypto involved, but it's the safest kind of crypto I've seen, because as you've seen, where crypto meets commodities, it's actually backed by something. And we're going to touch on that. And that's going to be a recurring theme throughout this presentation. So right now we sell licenses, right? And we call them nodes. And it has a little definition there, if you like. Blockchain, cryptocurrencies, and blockchains require nodes to operate. I'm going to try to paint my own picture, because I believe sometimes some of this stuff on PowerPoint, and those of you who know me, this is only my 4th time using this document. So if I stutter and stammer a little bit, understand I've just been doing this and just speaking from the heart. And probably I'd say 950 of those people came from me just talking. The other 50 like the structure of a presentation. So that's what you guys are getting today. And without any further ado, let me explain it like this. First of all, with Bitcoin, probably the most popular cryptocurrency, there's no office for Bitcoin. Who owns the Bitcoin? Who started the Bitcoin? Yeah, Satoshi Nakamoto. Where is he? What does he look like? What's his phone number? What country is he from? You don't know, you don't know, you don't know, you don't know. So how does Bitcoin work? How is Bitcoin worth over $1 trillion, right? It's because of nodes. People run the software on their own servers and computers, hundreds of thousands of people, actually millions of people. I've even seen server farms, and it sounds exactly like what I called it. It's a farm, a great big barn or a warehouse of some kind, and it's filled with nothing but computers that only do one thing: calculate Bitcoin algorithms and mathematical problems, right? And they run 24/7. You've all heard that Bitcoin's expensive. It's the electricity, because you never turn it off. You run it at 100 miles an hour, as fast as that thing can go, because the more speed, the faster it's running, the more Bitcoins you are given, right? By whoever Bitcoin is. It's an algorithm, it's a robot in the sky, and it's run by this network of nodes. So computers that are all plugged in and create this entire infrastructure. That's kind of how it works. Probably didn't, it helped half you and the other half are even more confused before I started talking 2 minutes ago. But understand this, you can't hack Bitcoin because each computer is independent. There's like 20, 30, 50 million computers probably, and you couldn't hack them all at the exact same time. So that's how they kind of work. We have the same thing on our network, but we have nodes that we've created, and these nodes have real value. And that's what's really exciting about it. The way I describe it to people without talking about all this node talk, you see this presentation got me going down the straight and narrow. I want to give you guys the real deal, Holyfield. It's as if our projects, right? We have multiple projects. You see, we have oil projects, we have natural gas projects, we have hemp and high yielding growth agriculture products, aluminum products, gold products, all these things. Each one is different. And each one usually has about 100,000 licenses. Let's call them share certificates because that's something you guys are more familiar with. Imagine our oil well had an IPO, initial public offering, the first day of us trading publicly, right? And let's just say we have 100 instead of 100,000, so our brains can handle the numbers on this fast-paced Zoom. So if there's 100 nodes or licenses, or in this example I'm giving you, stock certificates or shares, and you bought 2, then there's a lot more that goes into it, but I'm drawing a very basic picture for you. Then every time that oil sells, right, and which is daily, by the way, there's trucks moving in and out of all our oil projects, all the money we're making from the oil somehow, some way filters back to you. And because you have 2 licenses, 2 nodes, or 2 share certificates in my fictitious example, right, then you make 2% of the yield after expenses and a bunch of other mumbo jumbo that goes into this. So it's really, really cool. Understand that each thing is independent of the others. And you own these, we say, for 10 years, but I know behind the scenes, it's actually going to be for life. They're just trying to think of the easiest way to roll over those 10 years into another 10 years. Whether there's like a $50 renewal fee every 10 years, or if they do something with the smart contract. But let's just leave it at 10 years now for simplicity's sake. Every single day that that node is producing tokens, you're going to benefit. And I'll tie these all together at the end. So if you're still missing a few little connected dots, don't worry, we got a little bit more time here together where I'll go through some of that. So let's look at the debt ecosystem. And I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up this one very important piece of the puzzle. There's actually 2 companies here, right? You can see the logo right here. It says IX Global. That's the actual company that we are working with and for. IX Global, based out of Salt Lake City, Utah. They've been around 2.5 years. The first year they started was 2020. I think they started in early May. So for the half year of 2020, they did $6 million. Not too shabby at all. The second year, 2021, they did $22 million, even better. This year so far, the last report I got at the end of October, we were close to $160 million. Look at that rate of growth. And I dare say that obviously the best months and years are ahead of us because we're picking up tremendous momentum and tremendous steam. And most importantly, all of you beautiful people are here. So I know things are going to be looking up and up, and they're already looking pretty good. So what we have here is IX, so that's a marketing company, right? Been around 2.5 years, 150,000 people, by the way. And here's the most bizarre but cool thing. 110,000 of those 150 are in India. Not because of anything the company's done, but primarily the first people that kind of found us on the internet or what have you were from India. A great leader came out of there. And he knows people that are in India, and the company just focuses on supporting the people who are in the business, and they just happen to be there. Now it's been open globally, but it's kind of been a hidden gem, right? Diamond in the rough, so to speak, for the rest of the world. Well, there's about 40,000 other people outside of that. I'd say primarily they're split over the United States and Mexico. And even those numbers, 40,000 in those 2 countries, is a literal drop in the bucket. I myself have had over 500,000 people on my team in 65 countries. So I really understand the explosion that's about to come. And you guys are in the right place at the right time. Unfortunately for all of us, that's a very cliche sentiment, but I couldn't put it any better if I tried. So there's IX, as I just stated. There's also a company, you can see right down here, itty bitty print. We'll talk a little bit more about them soon. Also called DEBT, D-E-B-T. It's an acronym. It stands for decentralized, right? Eco-friendly, very important. Eco-friendly blockchain technology. You're like, blockchain, blockchain. I don't understand it. Back to my microwave example. You don't need to, but that's what's going on. And the blockchain is probably the single greatest invention, including medical, since the internet. It's that big. It's not just cryptocurrencies, it's so much more. Eventually, voting will be conducted on the blockchain. I know, what a headache, what a nightmare scenario. Health records, everything's gonna just transact through the block. Definitely real estate, that's a really good one. Also really big and lucrative. And by the way, we're going into real estate next year. But the blockchain is super cool. So don't be overwhelmed by any of this, and let's just move on. But DEBT, decentralized eco-friendly blockchain technology, is a massive, massive company that's doing big, big things. And it's headed by two guys that just fortunately, one of the people that I personally recruited happens to know the owners of that company. I couldn't believe my level of luck for the synchronicity for me to get that extra little boost of assurance and confidence, knowing that one of my guys has known the owners for over 17 years and has very, very positive accolades to share. He had no idea when he signed up that they were part of it. And that just took his belief from 1,000,000% to 1,000,000,000%. And by the way, they've owned hedge funds that had multiple hundreds of millions of dollars, multiple hundreds of millions of dollars in a very successful hedge fund that the owners of DEBT, that was the last business they had prior to starting this. And you can kind of see in a roundabout way, this parallels that. This is the new version of a hedge fund once you truly understand what it is they're doing here. So it's definitely in their wheelhouse, and they definitely have some very positive experience. Now, how does DEBT work? Now, this is gonna be a little bit confusing here, so we're gonna actually skip this slide. You can take a quick peek at it. I'm not trying to hide anything up my sleeve, but I wanna keep this moving kind of quickly and show you things that paint a picture a lot more clearly for you, and we'll take it from there. Also, I kind of touched on that we have a proprietary software that can turn your computer or laptop into a portfolio of blockchain miners. Jan, what does that mean? It means when you make a purchase into one of our project licenses, starting within 24 hours, you'll start receiving coins for that, right? You can see the purple here. This is the oil project. You'll start receiving black gold tokens. That's our ticker name for this black gold token. What does that mean? It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean anything. What it means is whenever you want to cash out the black gold tokens that are coming to you, you switch them in your back office for the DebtBox token. Now, I'm on a third-party website right here called CoinGecko, right? And there's also CoinMarketCap, and it rates and lists over, I think, 11,000 different coins and tokens. You guys are 11,000. I know Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, that's about it, right? There's actually 11,000. And look at how our main coin is doing, right? It's worth $10.45. This is our, our main event right here. Here's what's really cool about this more than anything. 24-hour trading volume is $3.5 million. So that means when you have oil tokens, like we were talking about over here, right, from the black gold, and you start making $5, $6, $10, $100 a day, whatever it is, in tokens, I think this gives out about 1,000 to 3,000 oil tokens a day, right? That represents your shares in the oil project. Now, one quick thing I want to share with you guys. If you're into one oil project, you're into every oil discovery the company ever makes. It was the most tragic and magic thing I ever heard from the owner of DebtBox. I was doing a private interview with him, Jason, and my 15 top leaders, and one of my people said, hey man, this oil thing, by the way, black gold is sold out. Let me give you a little context. Black gold, the licenses are sold out. We started selling them for $2,000, then we went to $3,000, then went to $4,000, then we went to $6,000. We sold out our entire allotment, $6,000. DebtBox started at $12,000 and rose all the way up to $50,000 for the exact same license that we were charging $6,000 for. Now, those people aren't part of IX Global, so they don't get our deep, deep wholesale discounts. But they were happy to pay $50,000 because they own a piece of an oil well for life. You need to wrap your head around that very basic concept, or nothing else I say even matters. That's why it's staggering. That's why I said it not only hits your ears differently, it's going to hit the ears differently of your friends that say, I don't do those things. I'm too busy. I'm too focused on what I'm doing. It sounds like a scam. It sounds like a scheme. Really? Oil well coming out of the ground, 5, 10, 20,000 barrels a day is a scheme, a scam? You guys, we are allowed to go to the site anytime you want. Bring your hard hat and your boots, and don't wear your good clothes because you're gonna get filthy, and you could get also filthy rich. No, I'm getting carried away. That's why we have a disclaimer, because sometimes it just go off the tracks. But anyways, yeah, so you get about 1,000 to 3,000 of these tokens a day. And they're like, what am I gonna do with these tokens? They're like Jack and the Beanstalk, right? I got these 3 beans. What are they good for? Well, you trade them in by clicking a button in our back office, and they give you debt tokens, which you see are worth $10.45. And then you instantly can transfer them into something called USDT, which is a $1 token, and cash those in and turn them into cash however you like. So there's lots of liquidity. That's the point I just made, and took me 2 minutes to say it. I could have said it in one. $3.5 million a day is going back and forth for people that are crazy enough to sell their tokens right now. By the way, let me just hit you with an amazing uppercut that's going to put you on the canvas for 8 seconds or more. We already have 150 people that have pulled out $1 million from just the oil project. 150. And sorry, I didn't finish my sentiment earlier where I said it was the most tragic and magic thing that I ever heard. Someone asked the owner of BLOX, you guys have so much oil and it went so well, can't you make a black gold 2.0? We want to get in. We need some of those licenses. They were sold out before we ever came here, so it's not fair. The tragic part was, no, you can't have any. They're sold out. They're sold out. You know, everything operates, by the way, on a smart contract. All that means is they put all the rules and regulations into a computer program, and the computer runs the company. Why is that important? Because humans do messed up things. They get greedy, they get jealous. You know, you start doing another business, they get mad, they want to turn off your back office, not pay you anymore. A computer doesn't care who you voted for, if you got a vaccine, didn't get a vaccine, you know, anything, where you live, how tall you are, how rich you are, what color you are. It's a robot. It just does one thing. It follows the rules. Nobody gets tokens, including the owners of IX, including the owners of BLOX, unless they pay the exact same price the rest of us pay. And everyone gets the same amount allocation of tokens per license, and it can't be taken from you. You could sell your license to someone. We couldn't stop you if we wanted to either. So that was the sad part. No, they're not going to make any more. The good news was, no, they're not going to make any more. So it means I can trust them with future projects, knowing that they won't change the game. They won't move the goalposts. Right? I'm still mad that I couldn't get some, but I understand why. And then the best part of that story was, like I told you earlier, it's not just for the one site, right? Project, all oil that they have. So right now, I believe they have 7 that are active. If they one day have 77, the people that bought a license, especially the lucky buggers that got the $2,000 ones from us, are going to get paid on all 77 oil wells or productions that we got going. Let's pick up the steam here a little bit more. I want to touch on some more things before we got to get out of here. Here's a few different places that you can buy and sell our tokens. So that's really cool. The problem with most network marketing companies is their token is their own and they just made it because. And by the way, there are things like called ICOs, initial coin offerings. And what they do is the owner gets 2 million tokens. The vice president gets 1 million tokens. The regional vice manager gets 500,000 tokens. The owner's ex-wife gets 100,000 tokens, right? And so on. And so the dev team gets 500,000 tokens. And they do all these things, and that dilutes it, right? Because what they're going to do is sell it when this price goes up, which brings it down because too many people are selling. So this one, it's a lot different. It's not a token made by the company for the company. Again, it's crypto backed by commodities. That's the big difference. And by the way, we're trying to get listed on Binance. We're having some really good conversations. Hopefully that happens in the next 60 days or so. And these tokens value, which is already staggering, is going to absolutely explode. Now, here's all our projects. I love all the colors of this. And I know you guys aren't here for pretty colors, but hey, it's better to have them than not have them. The most important word I think on this screen right now, by the way, is already. Already. Projects already launched. Nobody invited you here because we need your money so that we're going to go find some oil one day. We're going to go find some natural gas real soon. We got some hot leads. You know, we're going to do this project and we just had enough money. We raise it together as a team and then we'll take the money and I promise you we'll find some riches and grow some riches. We don't need your money, period, end of story. And go ahead and be a smart enough to say, then why do you want it? Why am I on this call? Look, buddy, I don't have time to argue with anybody. We are finding oil so fast and so precise that we don't even know what to do with ourselves. And if I have a little bit of time at the end of this call, you know what? I'm going to do it right when we get to aluminum. I'm going to knock your guys' heads clean off your shoulders. That sounds probably pretty mean-spirited, but I'm losing my mind with this thing, and I'm going to bring you guys there with me. Half of you right now think I'm insane, and I'm going to try to get the other half to understand why. All right, so this is the black gold. This is the oil. This is our natural gas. Where we have oil, typically you have natural gas. By the way, we have more natural gas discoveries than we have oil. Right now, just on one site alone, we've discovered 1,800 square acres of natural gas, right? So that's going to serve us well for a long time. Digital link gold. So we have gold mines. We just had 30 people go see them. I mean, I just can't, this is so cartoonish to me. Like a gold mine, are they a thing? Like, are you saying you walk into a tunnel of some kind, scratch at the wall, and then money falls into your hand, shiny gold? I mean, don't let my wife go there. She won't come out for hours, right? We have XPLR, which I haven't even mentioned what's going on with that. And now is the best time to do so. XPLR stands for our satellite project. And this is the reason we are all here. This is the magic. This is the tip of the iceberg, the tip of the spear. We have a proprietary software that right now we have a partnership with Google and Google Satellite. So like Google Earth, I think you call it, right? And we run scans using their satellite and our private software. And what we can base, and it costs us about $75,000 a scan. So this is big business. As a matter of fact, the deal we have due to our partnership is so rich that sometimes we subcontract it out and let other people use some of our time on the satellite to do whatever they need to do, but we charge them $250,000. So we're making money, let people, you know, like almost borrow our car that we rented for the weekend. It's kind of ingenious. By the way, here's an uppercut before the uppercut. In about 6 months, we'll be launching our own satellite, and obviously not IX. We only have $122 million, but with BLOX and some of their partners, right? So when I say we, I kind of, you know, we're like the entourage. I used to love that as a kid when I'd see the Grammys and all this. It's like, this is Eddie Murphy's entourage. I was like, man, Eddie Murphy's such a big star that even his friends walk the red carpet. Just, I know Eddie Murphy. Oh, come right in. Right? So we're like we're more than the BLOX's entourage. We're their exclusive marketing arm, by the way. They sell on their website. We have the exclusive marketing rights to sell their products anywhere else. And we buy in wholesale and big discounts. That's why our top price is $6,000. Their top price is $70,000. And they have thousands of customers that pay those kind of numbers. But back to Explorer. So we run our software on this. What does our software do? I'm glad you asked. It basically does like an X-ray of the Earth, right? You give it some coordinates, right? Longitude, latitude. Your grandfather owned some land. I mean, it's got to be pretty big, but we'll just use that analogy. Your grandfather owns half of Hawaii. Lucky you, right? You can tell us your coordinates of all the thousands and thousands of acres, the tens of thousands of acres that your dad owns. We're going to go plug that into our software, plug that into the satellite. We're going to do like an X-ray or an ultrasound, or more specifically, if you understand the concept of an MRI, we can do a scan of that Earth and we can see very deep, up to thousands of feet. It's incredible. It's mind-boggling. Every time I say it, I'm like, for real? Right? For real? right? But why do I know it's for real? The last 7 times we told people we see oil on their property, and they said, get out of here with that. I ain't got no oil. This property's been in our family for 80 years. And ain't never nobody hadn't found no oil. We're like, just drill right here, sir. And then sure, lo and behold, she's a oil, right? And we're rocking and rolling. So this stuff is working very precisely. Why I said I'd give you an uppercut is because some of you that are already in the business heard a little bit of rumblings about Ghana. And I've been saying some things that I've been crossing my fingers because I heard them 2 or 3 times, but I don't feel comfortable until I hear things like 10 or 12 times from multiple sources, right? Especially when it's something that's just so hyperbolic. I heard that we were going to get the exclusive rights moving forward to do any drilling for oil or digging for anything really, like creating any new mines, even retroactive to some of the old mines, and that we would have the exclusive rights to the entire country of Ghana. And I was like, wait a second, we got a monopoly on a country, our little old company. And sure enough, just 3 days ago, 30 of my friends were calling me, texting me, hyperventilating. They had the foreign minister of finance, the foreign minister of oil and gas was at their hotel for a private meeting, signing documents, showing them things. And they started it off with a $65 million contract just to get things popping. So what I've been saying for the past 4 or 5 weeks with my fingers crossed behind my breath, saying, Lord, someone please corroborate this crazy story that I've been told, that I'm telling people on a live Zoom so I don't look like a fool and have egg on my face. And sure enough, it's been staggering. And I believed it because I knew what was going on with the technology. And let me tell you what that is. The reason we're really in Ghana to get this popping was, once again, Ghana, by the way, has one of the biggest bauxite mines in the world. And bauxite is the ore that you use to create aluminum. And aluminum is used for a lot of things, but predominantly for pop cans. And some of the pop cans that we help create are close to 20% of all the pop cans in the world right now. And I was like, wait a minute, what? And they're doing 1.5 million metric tons a year out of this site. What do we do with our scanning technology? Because I didn't tell you the best part. We don't just randomly scan anywhere all over the earth. It's $75,000 a scan. We got to be precise. We need some leads. So we find existing sites where there's things, because where there's some, there's typically more. So we showed up in Ghana with contracts. And by the way, what we do is primarily royalty deals, like Mr. Wonderful on Shark Tank. Everyone hates him, but if you look, low key, he does put out the most amount of deals, right? So we tell people that they have something on their land, and if they sign a contract with us, we'll show them where it is. A lot of people got big land. Just knowing that something's there is not good enough. They'll be drilling and drilling and drilling and going bankrupt looking for stuff. So we saw this bauxite mine doing what it does, 1.5 million metric tons a year, which is incredible. And we said, we'll show you where there's more if you just sign this contract and promise to give us 20%. So you see what we're doing, why our model's so nimble, why I was joking, say we don't need your dirty money, right? We did a scan from 75 grand. We saw some bauxite. We tell the people that's going on there, they pay us 20%. Who has the machines? They do. Who has the workers? They do. Who has all the equipment? They do. We just want to show up when it's payday once a week. So they said, okay, sure, what's going on? We said, we know you got 1.5 million over here, but if you go 100 meters or 100 yards for our American friends, over to the left, why don't you go take some soil samples over there? And all of a sudden it's like, ay, caramba. What did they find where we told them to go? Now, granted, it wasn't exactly 100 meters. I'm painting a picture. Stay with me. They found what they estimate to be another 3.5 million metric tons per year that they can get from this secondary site that we've identified. They've been digging there for over 10 years and doing very well and happy with themselves. Imagine in your backyard, you found silver and every day you're taking out $1,000 worth of silver. We show up with our satellites and say, why don't you dig on the other side? Why? Because there's gold and diamonds. As crazy as that also sounds to say. So that's kind of what's been happening. That's why we're there. That's why we're working with them. One report I heard, those of you that are in the business, I didn't realize we already hired and produced jobs for 3,500 people in that country right now. Let me say that one more time because I keep telling you, this hits your ears different already, and we're moving towards 10,000. But currently, right now, we are providing jobs and employment to over 3,500 people over there through one of our various projects, the aluminum and grow, as a matter of fact, as well. And we're scaling that to 10,000. You know, do you know 10,000 people that work at Bitcoin? Do you know 3,500 people that work at Ethereum? And please don't tell me about OneCoin or some MLMcoin.com that's just a pump and dump nonsense, right? Based on nothing. Heck, you guys like Dogecoin? Why don't you Google Dogecoin for a second? The reason it has a picture of a dog on it, because the guy that created it took a picture of his own dog and thought it would be really cool if I just made a coin. What does it do? Nothing. It's just a picture of my dog and it's cool. How many do you have? Because scarcity is what makes projects have life. I set the parameters on the robot to create an infinite amount. They're never going to run out of Dogecoin. The only reason Dogecoin is worth anything because a bunch of crazy people believe it's going to one day be worth something. That's the only thing propping it up. Propping it up. It's smoke and mirrors and vapor. We have oil wells. We have 1.5 million metric tons a year. Check that. 5 million metric tons a year of aluminum coming out of Ghana, and so on and so on and so on. And sorry I spent so much time here. I'll whiz through the rest of the stuff, but I really needed to just get you guys' attention, just grab you by the scruff of the neck and say, I'm trying to put some money in your pocket, but you keep stitching them shut. Down here, by the way, this is our real estate project that we're going to have, that we're going to sell license. I don't understand what kind of real estate it's going to be, but you know, that's their background. Before the hedge funds, these guys were raising money for major real estate developments, and they were enormously successful for that. So we have a bunch of other things on the horizon as well. All right, let's show you some proof in the pudding here. Let me check my time. All right. Let's pick up the pace here. So this is aluminum. I bought a mining contract, right? I get this money every day for the rest of my life, or at least for 10 years. And I got one, you see right here, license. And it produced, when I got this, it was October 7th, right? On October 7th, I was making $3 a day. Actually, to be honest, I wasn't making $3 a day. I was making 295 aluminum tokens a day. And so this is for a cycle. A cycle is a 24-hour period from 6 p.m. Salt Lake time to 6 p.m. the next day Salt Lake time. And it always shows you your last day and then your current day. So when I took this picture, it was the middle of the day. I was already at $1.92. I was already at 191 tokens. All right. And this is the tokens. The tokens is what you get. And then tokens have a value. So at that day, when I bought this license, the token was worth 0.01007 cents. So basically a penny. This 7 is like nothing, right? So a penny. And so that's cool. Let me show you the next page. 3 weeks later, actually before 3 weeks even came by, but a weekend I saw that I was making money. Look at this, $367. This is passive. This has nothing to do with getting on Zooms. 75% of the people, remember I said there's 1,000 people on our team, 750 of them we talked to once. Like, this sounds really cool. Here's $10,000. Give me my 367 a day for life. Bye. Right? Which is completely fine. I wish they'd invite more people, and they probably eventually will, but we're not going to twist their arms. Get in where you fit in, do as much or as little as you like, spend as much as little as you like, and spend as much time or as little bit as you like. But here's what happened to me in about 3 weeks. The coin started rising. And you're like, 2 cents? Well, that's 2.15 cents, and it makes a difference. I have 2 licenses now because I understand money. This is what I've been doing. Passive income, income without labor. That's the ticket. That's the new way, right? And now I'm making $12 a day. Now I'm making 560 tokens a day. Now, let's be honest. I had 1 before making 3. So I have 2 now. So we got to go apples to apples. 2 at $3 should have been 6. So you see it's 12 for 2. Hopefully you can follow that math. I doubled my amount, but this is 4 times bigger. So not only did I double how many licenses, but the 560 means I'm making twice as much, which is easy. It used to be 1 penny, now it's 2 pennies. Here's what's going on here. So this picture, as you can see down here, this is a third-party website called Dex Tools. Yes, dextools.io. You guys can go there right now. Check me. Dextools.io, and then you just plug in XPLR. So I took a snap on the 21st of September. So we are, I think, what's the date today? We're about the 20. This is exactly 8 weeks ago. And by the way, that's cool because it went higher. But 8 weeks ago, oh, you can barely see it. It was 0.005 cents, half a penny exactly. Even before I got in, because I just got in, I told you in October, somewhere around 1 cent. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. It's 0.2544. And the other day it hit 0.03. I'll spare you all this, the ones that don't know how to read charts. That's a 500% increase. If I put $1,000 into this, right, the token, let's just keep it simple. If you bought $1,000 worth of these tokens 8 weeks ago, 2 months to the day, you would now have 5,000 tokens. There's been one person on our team that spent $100,000. If he spent it all just on XPLR 8 weeks ago, which he couldn't have because our team didn't start, but just bear with me, right? Because we started like October, like, you know, whatever, October 1st, basically. But his 100,000 would be $500,000 right now. You guys get it. 500% is 500%. Don't look at how small this is. Look at how many tokens you can get. Started at half a penny, then half a penny to 1 penny, 1 penny to 1.5, 1.5 to 2, 2.5 to, you know, you see what I'm doing? Let's move on. Here's the XPLR, same thing. I'm gonna go a little bit faster. You guys get the concept. I had one token, one license of XPLR, paying me $3.22 a day for live, but it wasn't really $3.22. Don't get married to this number. This is just symbolic, right? The price goes up, the price goes down. Look at this day. By the way, we're in a bear market. Crypto sucks. It's all crashing. Really? I made 13% in a day. And that was when it went to 0.008. I just showed you on the last screen that it's at 2.5 cents. It's moved up. But that's how many tokens I got. And I don't know if I have a, let's see the next one. Oh, cool. Look, I love this one because I still have just one, right? And it went from $3 a day to $6.35 a day. And look at the price. This is at 0.018. I just told you it went to 0.03. So we're making about $10 to $11 a day now. I don't have to do anything for this. This just keeps going and dripping in. Look how many tokens I'm starting to get. And it's just growing. As a matter of fact, this license, and here's what's cool about it. When the price goes up, all the old tokens, that's why I said earlier, people who sell their tokens. Remember I showed you on the DebtBox coin where you flip it into DebtBox to get your money out? All those people that flipped theirs that didn't wait, my total retroactively now, all of these are worth 3 cents when they used to be worth 1.8 cents. So it's kind of funny. The owner of DebtBox said it's like a game of chicken. Whoever can hold on to their tokens the longest is going to win. Now you're going to have to determine that for yourself. I can't tell you never sell, hang on for 10 years and you'll be rich. You got to figure out when you're rich enough, when you think you've got a good enough return for the money that you spent. But, you know, so far, so good. It seems to be the longer that you wait, it gets better so far, right? So this is just looking at the BGLD, the black gold. I kind of went in depth on some other slides. So we're going to blaze through some of these now. Here's a little bit of a picture of some of our 4 wells that we're working with. Nebraska is the famous one that you've seen a lot of people standing in front of. We took a tour over there to that site. They're driving on that guy's land for so long, and we told him he had oil. And he said, nope, 25 people in the last 50 years have told me that. They all pay me a fee. They drill on my land. They spend $1.5 to $2 million. There's nothing there. They leave. They're upset. I'm not even going to take your money, he said. I'm not even going to take it. Just turn around and leave. We're like, no, we'll take our chances. We're pretty sure. And sure enough, we found 50 million barrels of oil. There's also one in Nevada. I'm going to show you that in a picture. That it was a well that was just dried up. They just pretty much took the last couple drops out of it, and they're going to pack up shop. They'd been there for about 40 years or so. And again, they were closing up. We said, wait. This is this one right here. Sorry, it's a small picture, but I didn't want to cycle through all these. This is the Nevada site, just out, you know, Las Vegas, Nevada, but not in Vegas, somewhere else in Nevada. And this site was about to be shut down. What did we see with our MRI technology? They just had to go down another 1,000 feet, right? They thought they hit the bottom and they got all they could get out of it. Let me just go back here and show you one thing. They had 50 or 60, I can't remember the number. Sorry, there's so many. Between 50 and 200 million barrels, but they sucked it all out and sold it. We told them, drill deeper, don't close up shop, keep going. And so they drilled deeper. They hadn't drilled in a while. They were just pumping oil for the last 10, 20, 30 years, right? Just pumping. They already found the oil. There was another repository deeper, and we helped them find 400 million more barrels of oil. Now you can see right here, we only get 3.5% only. This is huge. We get 3.5% of the money that they make off the 400 million. The reason we only get a smaller amount is they already drilled there. It's their oil. We just kind of told them to look a little deeper and so on. That was some easy money. This right here, 90 days before this picture, this part with the dirt and the trucks and this thing all look the same as the background. This was the guy that told us just go away. He has 80,000 acres, I think. The guys were driving, these are Escalades. They were driving on his property for an hour and a half and it all just looked like this. They're like, there's oil out here, right? But sure enough, they had to shut everything down because, you know, civilians on site. But it was really, really cool for them to meet everybody and the engineers and see everything and live that experience. This is why I laugh and this is why I don't argue with people. If someone starts asking ignorant or weird questions, now it's okay to be skeptical. It's okay to have doubt. But if you're like, this sounds like some kind of oil Ponzi. Yeah, it probably is. By too many people, and by too many, I mean 8 out of every 10 people I talk to are saying yes. Now you guys are saying, well, Kev, you're so smooth and good looking. That's why they say yes to you. All right, even the worst people on my team are getting 4 or 5 out of every 10 people they talk to. I think it's higher, but I don't want to sound crazy. And 4 or 5 is an amazing, amazing number. Just talk to more people, right? We have oil coming out. Well, you think we built this? This whole structure here is over $1 million+. That's a pretty good trick, I'd say. We have our own app. That's self-explanatory. We don't want to get the cart before the horse. Here's a breakdown of all our projects. We have way more coming, actually double this number. We talked about them all briefly already, so we won't get into that for the sake of time. Here's kind of our back office, how it looks. Look, this black gold sold out at $6,000. We ran out, sold all we can sell. Natural gas is about to sell out. We have about 140 left natural gas licenses for $6,000. I think I have a picture on the next page. Depbox sells them on their site for $70,000. And one of my guys even went online and found someone that bought 2. And they were happy with the results that they had from buying 2 for 140 grand, which we kind of go, $6,000. I don't know about that. This is our grow project, blah, blah, blah. This is the satellite one. The satellite one's kind of interesting. I mean, all these things are found from the satellite. So to some degree, the satellite kind of dips into all of them, right? Aluminum and so on. So let's just pop by, keep it going fast. This should be 30 days. Here's the coolest thing the company came up with. They came up with a rental idea. What is a rental? Well, the licenses you saw were anywhere from $1,250 up to $6,000. Now, while that's an absolute steal to own piece of an oil well or piece of a natural gas pipeline or piece of a gold mine, or a piece of a satellite program that's just spitting out dollars, it's still out of reach for a lot of people that may otherwise believe in it. They just don't have the capital. So what the company did is they held back a certain number of their licenses, right? I told you at the start, let's say that most projects have about 100,000. So what they do is they sell 50,000 for full pop, and they take the other 50,000 and they rent them out for $250 for 60 days. Remember, a cycle is a day. For 60 days at a time. They're all 60 days except for oil. This is paying about $10, $11 a day right now. So they don't want to just charge you $250 and have you make $600, right? I mean, it's nice, but they're not that nice. You can see right here, more importantly than the money, right? This is why I want to, like, disclaimer, I want to talk, what we get is tokens. We don't know what happens with the price. It goes up and down. Usually when it goes up 2, down 1, up 3, down 2, up 2, down 1, which basically is trending up, right? But anything, and prices fluctuate. What else can I tell you? It's 90 PV for those that want to build. This is pretty great. This is volume in the compensation plan. So we get paid 10 to 20% of the PV that's on our team. So right now for anybody, I just hit a level that pays 20 PV yesterday, staggering to me, 20% of PV. That means I make $18 for every rental that is sold in the team. Absolutely crazy, crazy stuff. But even at the lowest level, you can make $9 through something called the binary plan. But it's a very, very safe and fun binary, very simplified and very fair compared to most. So if you know what a binary is and you love it, then you'll love this. If you know what a binary is and you don't like it, well, you haven't seen one like this ever in your life before. It's very rep friendly. That's the best way for me to put it. The natural gas tokens are obviously a lower price value right now than the oil, but you can see they pay 14,000 to 18,000 tokens a day. Grow is the most recent one I became part of, and that pays 7 to 11 tokens per day. What's cool about this is the tokens for Grow are about 95 cents right now. So that's like $1, right? $1 a token, and 11 of them just fall into your lap every single day. That's how those nerds, right? If I could say that word lovingly, got all these Bitcoins, 10,000 Bitcoins, 300,000 Bitcoins, because they ran a node, they ran a software on a dedicated computer. You can't do it on the computer that you're writing, surfing the internet and going on Twitter. It's another computer that sits in the corner of your house or your garage. It just doesn't stop, and it runs a Bitcoin software. Now ours, we're doing it in the cloud. Like, you don't have to have anything physical. As a matter of fact, they are coming out with something soon. That'll be really cool, but you don't need any nerdy setups, and it's not going to drain any kind of energy in your house. $250, runs for 60 days. You make 14,000 tokens a day, and whatever the tokens are worth, that's how much money it is. Here is a snapshot I took, the black and white, that's the colors of Depbox's website. And I went to buy one of their licenses and said, no problem, sir. That'd be $70,000 and pass the great coupon, right? And how many do you want? 10, 20, 37? I was like, 0. I'm a member of IX, and I'll go over here and buy them for $6,000. Thank you very much. And that's what I did. And by the way, this has 1,500 PV that goes through the team and so on and so forth. Now over here, I took a quick picture. A friend was showing me his back office, and I was just like, whoa, stop the press. What did you just, hang on. Who remembers how long a cycle is? Type it in the chat. How long is a cycle? This says mined in the last cycle. Because this person made $8,753 in the last cycle. How long did he have to wait to do that? I don't know, I can't see the chat right now, but a cycle is 1 day, 24 hours. By the way, the days are predominantly the same, right? For the most part. Look at this day, current cycle. So this was yesterday. Yesterday when I took the picture. And this right here is the current day that when he was showing it to me. And so far for that day, he was at 7,744. Now, for those of you who don't understand what you're looking at here and how this is possible, you just told us you make $10 or $11 a day or $5, $6, $7, $8 a day. How is this guy making 88, whatever? He bought a whole lot of these and a bunch of rentals maybe as well, right? So when you combine them, I believe that I think he has 110. That's a lot of money, but so is this, $8,700, dollars a day, perhaps every day for the next 10 plus years. That adds up to a lot more than he spent, folks. Here's the quantity of some of our rental program. I believe they're adding to this as we speak. I know we're launching another one in December, which is right around the corner, and another one in January. That's going to be mind-blowing. So lots of rentals, especially, remember I told you a lot of people are in India in the company, so they didn't have maybe $6,000. Some do, right? But for the most part, the average person in India makes about $250 to $300 a month is the average salary for someone that's got a good job. That's the guys with the job, not the people that are struggling, right? A month they make that. So, we had to, even the 250 is a bit of a struggle. By the way, what the people in India are doing, they're living off of these tokens that come in every day. So he makes 14,000 tokens. Let's say they're worth whatever would make this $14 or it's less, but I'm just trying to paint a picture. Let's use this one because I know the math here. This one right now is making about $8 a day. So the guys in India, not everybody, I'm just painting a picture. Let's say they make, and by the way, 7 days a week, 30 days, like there's no weekends off or, holidays. It's a robot. Remember that. Robots don't sleep. So let's say he's making $8 a day. Let's split the difference. $8 a day, 7 days. I believe that's 56. Man, I haven't done math in a minute. Let's call it $60 a week, right? Let's round it up a touch. $60 a week. They're taking that and flipping it into the debt coin that we talked about, and then flipping that into money, right? They need it to live on. Unfortunately for them, they're not getting much of the appreciation, which is fine. I always said, get in where you fit in. You don't have to follow my. They're happy to make $8 a day, $60 a week. Who am I to tell them, don't do it, wait 3 months and you'll make, $15 a day retroactively. They're like, man, I won't be alive in 15 days, bro. So here's just some random snapshots. I'm just about done. That's why it's starting to get no more PowerPoint. This is what I used to do when I was talking to people. I just show pictures from my back office. This is a new project that we have coming out called Swipe. It's one of our new ones. And as you can imagine, they've tokenized, I believe, again, this is speculative. That's why I got disclaimers. I don't have all the skin. I got bits and pieces, and I'm Frankensteining the information together. Is Frankensteining really a verb? It is now, right? And all the money they're making from the deal they're going to have with MasterCard, I believe, they're tokenizing it, right? And we're going to split some of the profits from all of the swipes from the new product that we're rolling out that people can even use outside of our ecosystem. It's going to be crazy. Understand the hardest part. There's two things that are stopping crypto from absolutely exploding. I mean, it's exploding, but I mean worldwide adoption. Number one, education and understanding. Number two, people having difficulty turning the $100 in their wallet to $100 worth of crypto. And from what the whispers I heard, this is going to solve one of those problems. That's really cool. This right here is a snapshot of a couple hours of our business. And I thought it was really, really cool to just look at it and see how diverse our team is. We had someone join from Hungary, another person Hungary, USA, Austria, Netherlands, Hungary, Ireland, Hungary, UK, Ireland, Hungary, United States, Austria, Italy, Thailand, Austria, South Africa, Kenya. It's just shoot, I'm from Canada. Canada's not even on the list, right? And USA only has 2. Austria has more people joining our team than the USA, just to put it in perspective. So there's a lot of people in India. There's a decent amount of people in the US. And our team is going to take over Asia, take over Latin America. Actually, Mexico's got a good little presence. But Asia and Europe, don't even bother. If you're not part of our team, don't bother. We got that wrapped. Here's a day in the life of our tokens. There's other days where it goes down to, obviously I cherry picked a really good day, but it is what it is. Hashtag crypto meltdown is still trending on Twitter. Everybody in crypto is losing their money right now, but this is up, this is up, this is up, this is up 5%, this is up 11 for the day. This is a 24-hour ticker, 9% and more, right? I'd be remiss if I didn't tell you when we first started. Let me check my time. I'm probably all right. I've got to wrap this. I'd be remiss if I didn't tell you that primarily because we teach people how to make money. That's what our company's about, right? We show you and help you and guide you in different ways of earning money from home. This company's a pandemic baby. It started 5 months after the pandemic had started, and everyone's stuck at home. Everyone's just using Zoom. Everyone's freaked out and wondering how they're going to pay their bills. That was the impetus behind this, was to help people pay bills without leaving their house. Now we teach you how to do Forex, foreign exchange. Some people know what that is. Some people just like, what exchange? Well, it's a really, really big industry. $6 trillion a day, $6 trillion a day, right? Transaction Forex. And I'm not going to get into what pips are, but they basically help people on a very low scale. You should be making $1 a pip is kind of how I was taught and what I think is a fair number. So you can make, and this is for the week. If you follow some of their stuff, again, disclaimers all over the place when I started, but if you follow, there's thousands of people that are doing this. So, you have an opportunity if you have the patience and the discipline to learn. And I did this, by the way, with another company. That's why I was really ecstatic about it. And I do make a lot of money with it. Anyways, I haven't used it here yet. So let's put that asterisk up, but there's a lot of people that will vouch very heavily for it. And that's really good. They teach you something called binary options, 79% win rate. That's probably pretty good too. Synthetics are like the NASDAQ, the S&P 500, all those fancy things you hear the rich people talk on all those fancy shows, Kramer and Squawk Box and all these things that's going on the bottom of the screen. You don't even know what it means. We'll teach you what it means, and we'll tell you when to get in, when to get out, and so much on more than that. In India, whatever one they're on in India, they got it figured out. You know, our traders got it figured out. We just give you the answers, by the way. We teach you how to do it. So anyways, we also have something called automation, where you can just keep your money in your account, plug in to copy our trades, and people are doing very, very well. As a matter of fact, I've been doing the presentation saying that they've been averaging 7.5% per month. You got $10,000 in there, you're making, 7.5%, regardless of how much you have in there. You can get started with as little as $500, by the way. I just got the report so far for 2022. We've been and that was for the last 2 years, we've been averaging 7.5. For 2022, we are at a little over 10% a month. That is staggering. That's amazing with the consistency. And last but not least, let me just touch on the comp plan here, and I just messed it all up. Let me just touch on the comp plan for a second. And by the way, I'm a comp plan fiend. Like, I had a video that went viral a few years ago. I have a course called Comp Plan University. I actually had physical DVDs, and I sold hundreds and hundreds of copies. When it first came out, I was charging $197. After the sales went through the roof and I wanted to keep the momentum going, I dropped the price to $97, and I still sold hundreds and hundreds of copies. And it was really amazing to me when I go around the world and I speak or at events, people are like, oh, I bought your program. It really taught me a lot about compensation plans. And even people that have made more money than me loved it. And that was, so just to say, I'm kind of coin operated. I usually go straight here. I did that here too, but actually at first I came in with the passive. So I love it when you have a product that even if you can't make money through selling or referring it, if you can do that and you like it just for the fact that the product could stand alone by itself, then you got a really, really good business. And I only had an hour to talk to you guys, and I spent 58 minutes talking about the product. That's the opposite of how my career has gone, right? I mean, you're like, yeah, we got these vitamins, whatever. Yeah, we got these, I mean, obviously I only picked good things. I'm being funny here, but for the most part, the ratio is probably 25% product, 75% business building, because that's what I am. I'm an entrepreneur. I leverage, right? Like, I've had so many people. I can create great sales organizations and teach and train a large amount of people around the world. But with this, I love the product. So it really didn't matter if they had a good comp plan. It just so happened that they have a phenomenal compensation plan. So much so that it's 16 pages, and I don't care. I'm not showing you 16 pages. Number one, you make money with the product anyways. Number two, for the 25% of people that even care, right, you can make great money here. So the binary I told you, left team, right team, pretty standard. I'm not going to really get into it, but just know you make between 10 and all the way up to 20% of all the volume that comes into your teams, right? 10 and 20%. There's some little bit of fine print on it, but not too much. For instance, you just can't like sign someone like me up. I go do 500,000 in sales and we both become millionaires or something. It's like, you got to do a little something outside of your main guy. But here's what I like about it. They have this thing called rank bonuses. Feast your eyes on this category, ladies and gentlemen. Never seen it before. I was about to say never seen it again. I bet you companies are going to copy it, because I call this the MLM salary. Salary. That's what people want, but salaries don't usually pay enough. And networking is usually predicated on just the work you do. Here it's also predicated on work, but it's much more simplified. Let's look at builder, right? You want to get to these ranks. The ranks are meaningless. However, they're attached to a certain amount of volume, which is attached to a certain income. So I say, okay, I want to be a builder. What's a builder? A builder is someone that has a team. Your entire team put together has sold or bought 1,040 points for the month. 1,040 points for the month. My own order was bigger than this myself. I could have made someone a builder. I mean, they need a few people outside of me, a little bit, not much, but for the most part, I would qualify somebody for this. What's so great about being a builder? We jump over here to rank bonuses. Builders make $87.50 each single week. That's really cool. That's why I call it a salary. If you hit this rank, you hit the rank by hitting this volume. When you hit this volume, you get this salary. Let's look at producer. I'll only look at a couple of these because it's very telling. producer, $3,600 or 3,600 BV, by the way, pays you $200 a week. That's $800 a month. There's no way you're making the $800. You're not making a little bit more. So dare I say, this is probably at least $1,000 a month for 3,600 in volume. That's crazy. I'm only going to show you two more, actually three. This one here, 1080 executive producer, 10,000. Now that's a little something, but it's still a little something. I know I can count on 3 people from the top of my head that have personally done this as one individual, at least this much volume. I mean, there's some nuance to it, but just showing that the volume isn't that crazy, right? And again, this is your whole team combined to infinity. You told one person, 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 and sometimes you got one, and that told a crazy person that did 1080, right? Now you need a little bit more structure, like I said, but not much. If you have 1080 in your team, $500 a week, $2,000 a month. There's probably some other bonus because this is only one of the 3 ways you get paid. So you're looking really, really good. And the last 2 I'll talk about are influencer, which is $25,000 in volume for your whole team. It's a decent number still. I know 3 people that have done this on their own, right? Maybe they're, those are crazy people to some degree. But I know 2 people that have added a 0 to this number. Now, look, I probably shouldn't have said that because some of you are like, this is crazy. But some people just want crazy results, okay? It just, whether you guys come in for $100 or come in for $250,000, nobody's gonna bat an eye. No one's gonna tell you, you can't do that, you should do more, you should do less. It's completely up to you, right? Just live within your means. Don't let anyone convince you to do anything crazy like that, by the way. But influencer is someone whose entire team collectively has done $25,000 in sales. That will get you $1,000 a week bonus, rank bonus. I call it salary. That's just my terminology. That's $4,000 a month. Since we're paying weekly, there's 52 weeks in a year. That's 52,000. That'll put you in the upper echelon of all United States families, right? Let alone what that would mean to you globally. And that's for achieving this amount of volume. And the last one I'll show you for some big boys. I see some names in here that I recognize. 100,000, right? 100,000. Now this is getting, I can't make some little joke and say, that's easy to just do it yourself, right? 100,000 is a big number. It's not tremendous, but it's pretty big. It's decent. You've been working. You've been doing some Zooms. 100,000 will get you $2,000 a week, which is $8,000 a month, which is $104,000 a year. 6 figures for 100,000 in sales. I did this my 2nd week in the business. Again, that's you, Kev. You got so many connections and friends and blah, 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 blah. Look, the way I look at it, if someone told me that, is if someone can do this in 2 weeks, regardless of how, then you can do it in 2 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years. If it took you 2 years to get to $2,000 a week, hey, you could quit your job or not quit your job. I never tell people to quit their job. Imagine this $8,000 a month coming in was all supplemental, or maybe you just work part-time, or maybe you work somewhere that you like your job versus somewhere that you need to work because it pays a little bit extra. This is freedom, folks. This takes the monkey off your back. Now, I know some people on this call, if I showed them that they can make $8,000 a month, they'd hang up the phone on me. That ain't enough for a lot of people. That's fine. But let's be real. If your bills are more than $8,000 a month, which, shoot, I think mine are, but that's very unique. You know what I mean? It's very unique. It takes care of most people's, this one takes care of most people's bills. And why I like this one a little bit more, I mean, I like this one for myself because I need the bigger money, but this one is 100,000 for 2,000. This one is 25,000 for 1,000. It's 25% of the work for half of the money still. Pound for pound, this is the greatest thing I've seen in network marketing. And by the way, 15% on the binary. So this is crazy right here. And that's pretty much it. That's all I got. I'm going to pass it back to Marshonda. I'm going to read some of the questions in the chat, and we'll be out of here in 5 minutes or less. Or if Kwame wants to say something, or actually, I wouldn't mind taking a few testimonials, but let me go to Marshonda really quick in case she has, she just wants to share something that she thinks I missed, or kind of start the wrap-up procedure before we get into a few testimonials. Okay, I think she's muted. Scott, really quick, can you take 30 seconds if you're still on here and just maybe share your experience, even share your screen a little bit, so people can kind of see what's actually going on, and that I'm just not some crazy person talking about it? If you're still on, Scott.
Pretty much a hard no on doing networking again. We went to Barcelona. I saw things. I was looking honestly for any reason to say, yeah, no, I'm going to pass and just be passive. And I did a complete 180. I mean, I was firmly in the never networking again camp. Just been burned so many times. Didn't want to deal. This has just been immensely exciting. And so my buddy down in Georgia, I drove down there. He's a retired Army, retired CIA. He was having a Veterans Day party. He's done really well for himself in the hemp business, so CBD and things like that. So we've known each other for about 4 years, and we have that trust there. And I drove down because I wanted to go hang out with a buddy, and I wanted to go be there for the Veterans Day party. But I also knew that he wanted to talk about this. His initial purchase was $17,000, and we got to finish up because he's not done with his initial purchase. It'll be another 12,500 or so. We'll probably get that done tomorrow. So when all's said and done, he's coming in to the tune of about $30,000. And there have been others that have come in for a tenth of that. There have been others that have come in for a tenth of that. And it's, whatever it works for you, like Kevin has said, is what makes sense. But I just love the fact that regardless of whether or not I even turn my phone on, this thing just keeps mining tokens. I mean, you see the NATG balance going up right there. We're almost at 18 million tokens, and it's fun. I don't feel resistance. I don't feel like I'm hoping that somebody will say yes or no. I'm detached from the outcome. I know what we have is incredible, and it's just fun to share it with people. And so I will leave it at that, and thanks for letting me share.
Awesome. Kwame, do you want to share anything really quick? Or Marshanda? I don't know if I have to unmute people here, but you guys are co-hosts, so I don't know. Thanks, Scott.
Hey, Kev. You did a fantastic job just really going into some of the weeds and explaining the benefit for that. At this point, if they don't get it, they're never going to get it no matter what I say. The only thing that I want to say is just to reiterate, is that most token projects, for those of you that have been in crypto, again, most token projects that you got into, it just had assigned value. It had just assigned value based on supply and demand or hype. This actual has tangible, deliverable and non-deliverable commodities attached to it. There's significance in that. That's why this project, the token prices, though it fluctuates in an upward trend, while the rest of the market is going reverse, in a reverse direction, this thing continues to pick up steam because it's attached to a tangible deliverable, a commodity. And so it doesn't matter whether you're going to rent a node for $250 or you want to purchase a node, whatever it is that you are planning to do, just do it. There's really nothing to second guess here. I mean, at the end of the day, Black Friday's coming. A lot of y'all gonna already got your chops wet, waiting for that one sale, whether it's Home Depot, Lowe's, Macy's, Best Buy. You waiting. You're waiting to get that. Some of y'all on here waiting to get that 80-inch or that 150-inch TV to hang on your wall that's gonna be obsolete in 2 years, tech-wise. The best Black Friday investment you can make is into yourself and your family by picking up one of these nodes or several of these nodes. Whatever your comfort level is, just go ahead and do it. You heard what Kevin had to say. You heard some of the testimonies here tonight, and you'll probably hear a couple more. But that's all I got to say, Kev. Thanks.
Yes. Awesome. I'm just reading some of the questions here. We don't normally go into them, but that's all going to change. We're going to start ramping up the schedule. We're going to start ramping up some trainings and stuff because the team's growing really fast and out of control. And we need you guys to help us do what we're about to do, which is turn this 1,000. If we can get 1,000 in 6 weeks, I mean, we're going to have 10,000 probably in the next 90 days or so. You know what I mean? I know how these things grow. I've done it so many times, 6 times in my career. Like I would never say been lucky. So I've always worked for it, but 6 times I've had an organization of 10,000 plus people. So yeah, I've seen it happen a bunch of times. This is going to be my biggest team ever 18 years I've been in this industry has been 65,000. And I believe this one's going to go over 100. Finally, I could be in the 100,000 person club. But it's really, really exciting. So will rentals be available forever, or is it a limit? Good question, Dimitri. It is forever, because that's what keeps us sustainable. If we sold them all, as you can see, the appetite from people is crazy. You know, Scott just said his first, you know, not his first guy, but the guy he just went and met. The first time he heard about it when Scott drove to his house and stayed over for a night or two, and the guy spent $17,000 and wants to do more, and he's not a networker. So there's that. And also with you know, it just expands it to many, many, many more people. One thing that I think is important, it goes over a lot of people's head, is like, what's so important about that is the fact that we went to DebtBox. DebtBox had a great business working and rocking and rolling on their own. They didn't want to be in network marketing. As a matter of fact, they really didn't want to be, you know, but a network marketing company, IX, just seeing that what they were doing, because they just happened to be a local, you know, company, and hearing about them in the news every day and this kind of stuff, and said, we want to partner with you. And then that's kind of how that came about. And they said, we don't want to partner with you. And then so the owner of IX, Joe Martinez, bought you know, $10 to $15 million worth of nodes, got a deep discount, and said he wanted to resell them. Like, oh, you tricked us. And he says, all right, if you can sell those all in 90 days, maybe we can do something. And he sold them all in 22 days. And I said, okay, that was pretty cool. Well, in 2022, if you guys can sell $100 million worth of nodes, then, you know, we might be long-term partners. And they did that in 9 months. And now they just said, if you guys can sell 300 million, final offer, you know, we're best buddies forever. And we're going to smash that. Like, I mean, the last 2 months, we've done $25 million each month already. This month should be bigger, and we're just picking up steam. You know, as all these new countries come on predominantly through our team, and there's other great teams too, and I have friends on other teams, so it's not competitive. We're just right place at the right time right now. Dimitri just said, thank you for NATG. Are there any projects already set in motion, actual natural gas findings? Yes, Dimitri, I believe that most of our I don't know what you call it, sites, especially the one that I showed you right there in Nebraska, the one that I said the guys have 80,000 acres and they've owned it in their family for almost a century. That one there has natural gas on site already. So really, really exciting, really, really cool with what's going on there. The cool thing that I just learned is that natural gas is regenerative, meaning it keeps coming back as you extract oil, it creates more natural gas. I just rented one NATG package, but I don't know how to fund my trading wallet. Is there anything? Okay, let me just show you guys something. You just reminded me of something else I wanted to show. I know this has already been long, but it'll be worth it. Just give me 1 second. I had queued this up. I was doing a little research before I got on here. Here we go. Nope, that's not it. Also not it. If anybody else has a good testimony to share, let us know. I will bring you.
Hey, Kevin, Scott, I'll just add in that there are 2 other people that have come onto the team in the last 2 weeks who were also in the never again with networking camp, and they saw this, and it just makes so much sense. It's rooted in business, and business people get it. People that aren't in business get it. It's like you said, it's like you're just gonna go build an oil rig just for show. No, it just doesn't work that way. So it's like, don't count anybody out. Don't count anybody out, because even the nevers like myself will eat their words.
Right. Awesome. Awesome. Can you see my screen with all this red dirt?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. So guys, I was just doing a little research on bauxite because I'm talking about crazy stuff. I'm talking about, we just signed a 60. Let me reiterate a little bit about that, by the way. I don't think I really hit home with it. The deal we just signed with the foreign ministers and those big politicians in Ghana, let me give you the knockout. This is what it looks like, by the way. This is our bauxite. All that red stuff, that's what makes pop cans, okay? I don't know if I really want to run my Coca-Cola through a bottle of this stuff right here, but That's what's going on. All this red dirt. And if you look around, if you ever see any like pictures and stuff of Ghana, I mean, this stuff is like everywhere. It's like it rains this stuff. Anyhow, the beauty of what this was, because we're so precise with our satellite, because we know exactly where something is and what's there, the letter, the law, I don't know the wording of it, but they've kicked everybody else out of business. Shell, Exxon, BP, all the names they said, get the bleep out of here. And the only way you're getting back in is if you partner with BLOX. Now, I was saying that like for the last 3 weeks, and I felt weird saying, I'm like, is this for real? Is someone gonna like fact check me or something? And I'm gonna find out I've been saying nonsense? Until 3 days ago, where people saw and laid eyes on some paperwork and saw a whole bunch of guys show up in black, cool looking cars and security around them and all this good stuff. And yeah, because if you think about it, all these guys are strip mining. They're leveling mountains, they're digging and drilling, not to talk about any one place, but especially like China, they're just like, and they're giving them pennies on the dollar. Thanks for all the bauxite. We'll pay you your 1 penny per pound, right? And they're making all the money and leaving the place in complete disarray. That's why the second letter in our name is so important. Decentralized, eco-friendly blockchain technology. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not the world's biggest tree hugger, right? But I'm also not a villain. And if you ever watch a video on what's going on in places like the rainforest, and you see these tractors and these trucks with tires the size of my house, no exaggeration, just like flattening mountains in like months, you understand the magnitude of the problem. So it's amazing that we're solving something like that while we're making money. Our precision, we don't have to drill 100 holes to find 2 oil wells. We'll drill 2 and find 2, right? Not guaranteed, but so far so good. So it's our precision and the way we're not harming the environment on top of it, that just makes it a no-brainer. So we now have the exclusive onshore and offshore rights. Right now, those guys have already been kicked out. The Shells of the world have been kicked off the land. Get out of here. We don't want your money. And if you want to come back in, you deal with BLOX, because they know if they deal with us, it'll be a precise operation. There'll be the least amount of harm to the environment. And that'll be really good. Sorry, I'm getting back on my soapbox. Let me just show you this really quick. You can see, remember my, look, I bought a third one. I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I bought a third license for aluminum, if you remember back from the thing. And remember, it was like, this was 2 weeks ago, it was $300. Now, because of the price and because I'm making X amount of, let me just go see how much I'm making a day, actually. Now I'm making $19 a day. Remember, it was $3 a day before. And look at the price. It started at 0.001 or something. Now it's 2.3, almost 2, and that's even down. Look, it's down and I'm still making all this money. So, and look, remember I showed you, I think it was like 12,000 tokens. It's the tokens. It's token. The name of the game isn't really this. This is easy to explain and look at. This is the name of the game, right? Because this number right here, 27, if this goes to, let's say, 4 cents tomorrow, then that would be double the 2 cents. Then this would turn into $1,200. If this goes to $1, then this would turn into $27,000. That's why they said whoever holds on to their tokens the longest. And let me show you why that is really quick. I keep wanting to get out of here, but there's just so much value. I'm looking at the numbers. People aren't dropping off, so that's good. I'll be fast. Right here, October 19th. We burnt, I'm not going to get into what that is, but we destroyed. The company goes on that BLOX site and they buy back the tokens that we're selling. They set the robot up with a trust fund. They put millions and millions of dollars into the trust fund. They buy the tokens and they burn them. So on the 19th of October, you can see right here, and this is the hash mark. All the nerdy guys know what to do with this, and they can go and verify what we're saying. They burnt $3.5 million of natural gas. The same day, see it's turned purple? They also burnt 1.2 billion tokens of our oil project worth $6 million. So in one day, they burned $5 million worth of tokens. Why do they do that? The quick example I share with people is if you have 2 Mona Lisas, let's say, right? And they're each worth $1 million for some simple math. If you burn one of them, the other one's not worth $1 million. It's not even worth 2 million. It's now worth 5 because it's the last one on the planet. If you don't understand painting, let's talk about Mickey Mantle, I guess is a probably famous baseball player. If you had 2 Mickey Mantle baseball cards, they're each worth $1 million. If you burn or destroy one or fold it up and put it in your pocket, the other one's worth so much more money. So that's why they're buying all the tokens and they're burning them. They're getting rid of the supply. The less supply, the more the value. I'm going to go to CoinGecko right now. This is cool. I showed you in my training that this was worth $10 and something. That was last week. It's now $11.46, and it goes up and down, up and down. It just so happens that it's gone up pretty. It's up $1. It's up 10% since I took that picture. Right. This is DebtBox. This is us. Right. So and CoinGecko is a pretty big deal. Look up here. Hard to see. 13,000 different cryptos. And Bitcoin's at 15,000 right now. It's down. Down, down, down. Look at the trading volume, by the way, since we're here for the day. That's $18 billion for the day, guys. Look at all the red. Now, this is a stable coin, so it stays at $1. But overall, look at the markets. They're all way, 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 way down. But anyways, not going to do that right now. By the way, this is what I was looking up. Here's how my mind works. What our satellite can also identify is large bodies of liquid, whether that be oil or water, large gases, any elements on the periodical table. So I was brushing up on my grade 9 science before this call. They can see helium, lithium, hello, self-driving cars, all the cars that are running on electric cars. Hopefully, this is going to be a big one soon. Hydrogen, carbon. We have a carbon project coming out. Boron. We can see all these things with this is crazy. This is crazy. Copper, nickel, cobalt, iron. We know exactly where it is. So it's going to be really, really a crazy year coming up. I'm super excited for everybody. Let me just stop this share. I don't need to go any further. I don't want to bore you guys. Should have quit while I was ahead. But let me just check if there's any questions. If not, Marshawn, you can start the wrap up. Let me just, hey, George, good to have you on the call, my friend. Pastor George in the house. Michael, and revenue from the license sales fund exploration or other costs associated with creating the revenue from the project. Yeah, I mean, I don't completely understand the flow of cash, but we do have some videos from that we've done 2 separate, just our team alone has had 2 one-hour conversations with the owners. But in theory, yes, Michael, I don't know if that's my friend Michael from Highland right now or somebody else, but yeah, that's kind of it. Sales, yeah, kind of. Yep. Really, what I know, one thing that the revenues fund, the purchases for the burns and stuff like that, especially, so that they can buy back and make it deflationary. They're trying to shrink the supply as much as possible, and maybe that's what Alvin was alluding to as well. Okay, I don't know if Marshawn is still here, but let's see. In summary, the revenue from each other going into trust fund and the revenue, but yeah, this Michael guy is pretty smart. He's kind of got it. Yep. Makes me even think more. It's my friend.